Good afternoon, Reds all around the world. I hope you're well. Welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. Still wearing the Kop Father t-shirt because he is still the Kop Father. But speaking of managers, he has been speaking potentially about our new manager who's about to come in. Before we get into this press conference reaction video, make sure you smash that like button. Comment with all the things that Klopp has spoken about today. Some really revealing stuff, and then subscribe if you haven't already. Just hit 43k on YouTube. We're trying to get to 50k before the end of the season, so do your part. Wherever you're watching from, shout out your country, your city, your town in the comments, and let's get that up as soon as we can. A lot of things to go through. I'm going to start off with the Everton game, his reaction from that, and then we can get into what he has actually said about Arne Slot, who we're actually going to deep dive into a little bit. But he said after the Everton game, I can't remember ever being as frustrated and disappointed after a game that I was for Everton. It was a special game and we were not there. For 1 or 2 weeks, we didn't play positive football. I'm responsible because I'm responsible for the mood that we are in. And that's why, again, Jurgen Klopp is never a manager, unlike, you know, maybe an Arteta or a Ten Hag, who will publicly kind of almost dump on players, right? You've seen what Ten Hag has done with Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford. You saw what Arteta has done with Aubameyang and other players like that. For the right or wrong reasons, they've publicly outed the player, and I don't think Klopp would ever be the type of manager to say the players weren't up for it. Whatever the result is, win or lose, he always takes responsibility for it, and that's what we want to see. Again, I think personally it was 90% the players who just didn't look up for it. You saw the video of Trent, I'm going to say, defending the second goal. It was just schoolboy stuff. I mean, even schoolboys would probably jump up for the header. It's almost unforgivable, if I'm honest, what Trent did for that second goal, and Szoboszlai and Van Dijk. I mean, it can't always be Van Dijk that heads it clear, but you've got to attempt to go for the header, surely. I mean, it's a pathetic jump. I don't even want to watch it again, and it's kind of just making me a bit more angry about that result on Wednesday night. So it is what it is. Big performance needed now from the Reds tomorrow. I'll be at the game at West Ham. There was also an interesting quote that Klopp said, did anybody expect us to be champions at the start of the season? No, but it developed that way. And he went on to say, and I've watched the press conference this morning, he went on to say, look, no one expected us to be champions at the start of the season, but because of the position that we found ourselves in, we're massively disappointed. So he's almost saying, look, we've overachieved, but we were there. It was ours for the taking, and we let it slip. And it's painful to even admit that. So Klopp, again, kind of managing the expectations of Liverpool fans. He's saying, look, if we can still get top four and a trophy, that's still a real target. Talking about the top four, and we've got a trophy in the bag. He went on to say, I'm not in the mood to give up and wave the white flag. He's gone on to say as well that City and Arsenal won't lose 2 of their last 5 games each now. We have to almost admit that. We can just play our games, but, you know, in typical Jurgen spirits and mood, he said, look, you might want to give up, and I'm pretty much resigned that we're not going to win the league now. I'm pretty sure we've got a 1% chance of winning it now. But he's not given up either. And why would he? It's his last 5 games. He wants to go out with a big bang. And we've got to just win all of our games to give him the best send-off possible. So knowing that he's not in the mood to go up and wave the white flag, let's see how the players, if they give up the white flag and almost resign to what's happened in the last couple of weeks in terms of, well, you can take it back a month to the Manchester United game, and then obviously the Atalanta game, the Palace game, and now the Everton game. 4 defeats in 6 or 7, I think it is. So he's not given up. Let's see if the players want to give up as well. He also confirmed that Conor Bradley and Diogo Jota are progressing well in their rehabilitation from their respective injuries. We might get a glimpse of Conor and Jota maybe in the last 2 games, potentially. The Spurs game might come a little bit too early, and we know that game was amazing for Jota last year, scored the winner last kick of the game. But maybe we see Conor Bradley and Diogo Jota coming back right before the end of the season. But this was the interesting bit, and I think this is what you've actually joined the Kop TV today to hear about. Obviously, journalists in the press conference room today will have been itching to ask him the question about Arne Slot's comments last night, which again I can read to you. He said, "I'd like to become the new Liverpool manager. My intentions are clear. Feyenoord and Liverpool are in talks to negotiate. I'm waiting to see what will come out of it. I am confident, and I'm waiting for the clubs to reach an agreement." Now, there's two ways you can look at this. It's a bold, bold statement, and that's no pun intended, by the way. It's a very bold statement from a very bold man. But it's a very, very ballsy statement from someone who is still in a job. Now, let's put the shoe on the other foot. If you're a Feyenoord fan right now, and the season's not over, and you've still got some trophies to play for, he's won the league, he's won a cup, he's been brilliant at Feyenoord, the 45-year-old, who came from AZ Alkmaar in 2021 to Feyenoord and has, really achieved some great things in terms of bringing silverware to the club. No Champions League experience, which does worry me a little bit. I'd like, in an ideal position, in an ideal scenario, I would have liked our manager to come in and be well versed in terms of travelling around Europe. Yes, he got to the Europa Conference final in 2022. I believe that was against Roma. That was the year that Jose Mourinho won it with Roma. But since that, he's won the league, he's won the cup this season as well. And if you're a Feyenoord fan, how happy would you be with your manager coming out in a press conference and basically saying, "I'd like to become the new manager of another team"? From a Liverpool perspective, I guess you could look at it in two ways. One way, ballsy. He's got the minerals to come and manage Liverpool. He's put his neck on the line. He's really putting himself in and amongst the talking points in any terms of, in any kind of Liverpool media outlets. He's all over the place right now. And he's come out and stuck his flag in the mast and said, "I want to be the Liverpool manager." But again, the other side of it is similar to how Feyenoord fans would feel. And I've seen Liverpool fans reacting to this today. They're not really happy with the way he's just come out and openly, put his name in the hat. He's more than put his name in the hat. He's basically saying, I will become the new Liverpool manager. And this comes after the kind of failed negotiations between Ruben Amorim and West Ham and Liverpool. From what I understand and from what you heard that Nicky said yesterday on the show, he went to Sullivan's house, the West Ham owner, was asking for a lot of money alongside his agent. Liverpool have caught wind of him going to meet West Ham. And we've almost gone, well, if you're not our first option, if you've not come to us to speak first, if there's other clubs that are maybe, trying to persuade you to become their manager, then we're backing out. You've made your bed, go and lie in it now. And I think the agent, if I was Ruben Amorim, I'd be fuming with my agent, because it seems to me that he's absolutely bottled that opportunity for him by asking for more money, asking for a higher sign-on fee. And if you're Ruben Amorim now, how do you feel? I mean, he's going to have to go back to Sporting Lisbon with his tail between his legs. He's almost outed himself to all these other clubs again before the season's finished. To be left with what? And I'm not saying to be left by being the Sporting Lisbon manager is a huge failure, but let's admit it, he almost had the job. I mean, Carragher was fully in on him. We saw him speak about him on the overlap yesterday. A lot of Liverpool fans, including myself, were all in. We did a week ago today. We did a video, Jack Collins and I sat down for half an hour and spoke about how Amorim is going to build a new dynasty at Liverpool. And then earlier on this week, it seems like he's completely disregarded himself, and his agent has done that for him. So Arne Slot has really come out yesterday and said, "I'd like to become the new Liverpool manager." In my head, that's that. The negotiations will continue, and I'm pretty sure now that Arne Slot is going to be the new manager of Liverpool Football Club. Let us know what you think about that. Klopp was asked about it very kind of vividly. He said about Arne Slot, and I need to get the pronunciation. Is it Arne? Is it Arnie? At the minute, I'll go with Arne or Arne. I'm not too sure. But Klopp said this about our new manager, Arne Slot. He said, "I like the way his team play football. All the things I hear about him. Good guy, good coach, good guy. If he's the solution, then I'm more than happy." So Klopp is coming out this morning and saying, he's our man. I'm happy if we get him. I say we. I'd be happy if Liverpool get him. He said, it's the best job in the world, the best club in the world. So he's come out and said he's given his stamp of approval on Mr. Slot. He's come out and said, that's our man. If it is going to be him, then I'm more than happy with it. He's coming into a job that is the best in the world, got the best fans in the world. But it's interesting, or is it, that Jurgen Klopp had no involvement on the search for the new manager or wasn't asked for his advice. Now, two ways to look at this. You could say, well, Klopp should have full oversight of the new manager. There should almost be a handover period where, you know, in jobs all around the world, the guy or the girl leaving will kind of write up an email that says, right, this is the jobs you've got to do. You know, he likes his tea done with 2 sugars. You've got to treat him with a bit more love because that's how you get the best out of him. You know, we like to arrive at 10:30. We start training at 11. You would have thought in any other job in the world, there's that handover period, right? With Klopp, it seems he's just going to be leaving and a new manager is going to be coming in with almost no changeover or no handover period. So it does look like Michael Edwards is in full control of both on-pitch and off-pitch movements when it comes to finding the new manager for Liverpool next season. A lot of people saying, well, actually, it's not surprising at all. A manager should not be involved in looking for his replacement. It's nothing to do with him. Why would he be involved? I can see fans saying this. So the new kind of managerial setup that it looks like we're going to have at Liverpool, and this was first broken by the Spoin Kop, the Kop HQ Twitter, it's going to be Arne Slot as manager, Sipke Hushloff as assistant manager, and Ruben Peters as coach. I'll be honest with you, until a week ago, maybe this is naive, maybe it's arrogant or ignorant, one of the two, I'd not heard of any of these lads. I've seen a video of Sipke Hushloff speaking to the fans at Feyenoord, telling them not to throw any stuff on the pitch. He's not going to get that at Anfield. Nothing's getting thrown on the pitch. But that looks like it's going to be our new Jurgen, Pep Linders and Peter. It looks like that's going to be our 3 guys in the dugout going into the new season. So make of that what you will. Are you happy with Arne Slot coming into Liverpool? No one can replace this man, as we know. But if this man has come out today and said then he's happy for Arne Slot to slot in, then so be it. You know, if Jurgen gives him the stamp of approval, then who are we as Liverpool fans to disagree with him? So, yeah, that was his press conference today before the West Ham match. He also had the good news that Cody Gakpo's new son, Samuel, has been born. I love Jurgen because they asked him in the press conference, Cody missed the game against Everton, will he be back? He said, yes, all good. Little Samuel was born. I don't know what time. I just think as if you know what time that your player's son was born. So you can tell that he's that kind of manager in the change room. Cody comes back in, he gives him a big hug, asks him how everything is, the important question, how's the lady in the situation, how's the baby, and how are you as a father now? Great news for Cody Gakpo, and it would be great to see him back in the squad. We went through the lineup prediction yesterday with Nicky. No real changes there. I still go with what we decided yesterday. As I said, I'm going to be at the game tomorrow. Really looking forward to going down to West Ham, and hopefully we get a win. But the title of video yesterday was "Nothing to play for?" ? I think even if we do win on Saturday, it's kind of a bit too little, too late. So really looking forward to it nonetheless. We're going to have Doyle back on the Hot Topics podcast Monday morning. He's back from his week in Benidorm, his stag do. Not his stag do, Jack's stag do, who's the cameraman for us on the Kop TV up in Liverpool. Horrendous videos coming out of Benidorm of Doyle after a few bevies, but we'll talk about that more on Monday. Or maybe we won't, maybe he doesn't want to talk about it, but I've thrown him under the bus a little bit there, but I'm really looking forward to seeing Doyle. I haven't seen him for a couple of weeks, missed the boy, and I spoke to him this morning. He's in good spirits. He's saying he hopes City win now, so Arsenal's bubble gets burst, and maybe for the first time ever on camera, should I do this? Yeah? I think I am going to do this. Maybe for the first time ever, I'm now going to admit that I think I'd like Arsenal to win the league. Oh, God. Jesus. Have I just said that? If we're giving us 1% chance, anyone but City, that's my motto. So if it is Arsenal that go on and win it, then they'll have deserved to do so. But Man City did put 4 past Brighton last night. It is still in their hands. And if you're asking me who's going to win the league, I will say Man City, but I'd prefer Arsenal to win it now, if I'm honest. Sounds weird to say that, if I'm honest. But hey ho, it's our fault that we didn't do our bit. So there you go. There's your press conference reaction. Jurgen Klopp speaking this morning about Arne Slot, how disappointed he was in the players after the Everton game and himself. Cody Gakpo and Conor Bradley back in the team soon, as well as Diogo Jota. And yeah, a lot of thoughts there really on Jurgen Klopp. So big up to him, the Kop father. Smash that like button. Please do comment with your thoughts on everything that was spoken about in this video, and subscribe to the channel. We're doing big things. We're hopefully going to America in pre-season tour. We need you on board. We need your support. Go and watch the preview with Nicky Hawkins from yesterday. Really good insight into their relationship with Amorim as well. So guys, enjoy this video. Smash that like button, and I'll see you after the game tomorrow. Take care. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you've enjoyed this, make sure you check out the rest of the channel too. There's other stuff you'll enjoy for sure.
Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the Kop TV.
The voice of football's most famous dads.
Come on.